Most of the time, when relationships start to feel difficult, our first instinct is to look outward. Why don't they understand me? Why don't they listen better? Why can't they show up the way I need them to? And sometimes those questions are valid, but other times, the harder truth is this: the problem isn't always them. Relationships don't just teach you how to love another person, they expose how well you understand yourself. And if you're not in the right place mentally or emotionally, love can start to feel heavy instead of fulfilling. Here are 5 signs you may not be ready for a relationship yet. 1. You always put yourself first, at the cost of others. There's a difference between self-care and selfishness. Taking care of your mental health, your goals, and your boundaries is healthy. But when every decision revolves around you, relationships start to feel one-sided. You expect understanding, patience, and effort, but struggle to offer the same in return. Often, this kind of behavior doesn't come from confidence. It comes from insecurity. Some people give very little in relationships because they're afraid that if they give too much, they'll lose themselves. Afraid that love will run out, so they protect their energy by holding back. But love doesn't grow when it's rationed. If you notice yourself taking more than you give, it may be time to ask, what part of me feels unsafe being fully present? Working on self-connection through hobbies, movement, journaling, or stillness helps you show up without fear. Second, you always need to be right. Disagreements are normal. Conflict is unavoidable. But if every argument turns into a battle to win, something deeper is happening. Pride can quietly destroy connection. When being right matters more than being understanding, your partner stops feeling safe opening up. Sometimes people avoid apologizing not because they don't care, but because they fear vulnerability. They worry that admitting fault means losing power. But a sincere apology doesn't weaken you. It builds trust. Strong relationships aren't about proving who was wrong. They're about learning how to move forward together. If you struggle to say, "I'm sorry," it might be worth asking what you're really protecting. 3. You rely on your partner for happiness. Ask yourself this honestly. Do you feel anxious when you're alone? Lost without constant connection? Like your sense of purpose disappears when they're not around? That's not love. That's emotional dependency. Love is appreciation, not possession. It's choosing someone, not needing them to survive emotionally. When your partner becomes your only source of happiness, the relationship starts carrying too much weight. Often, this pattern is rooted in unmet emotional needs from earlier in life, needs that were never fully seen, heard, or validated. And no partner can fix that for you. Healing usually starts with facing those unmet needs, sometimes through therapy, sometimes through honest self-reflection. Once you do, love becomes a choice, not a crutch. 4th, you expect others to read your mind. Communication isn't optional in relationships. It's essential. Yet many people avoid saying what they feel. They stay quiet. They become passive-aggressive. They hope their partner will just figure it out. Sometimes this comes from fear of conflict. Other times, it's a test. If they really care, they'll know. But unspoken expectations create resentment. You can't be angry at someone for not meeting a need you never expressed. Healthy communication isn't about blaming. It's about clarity. 5. You're afraid of commitment. Commitment anxiety doesn't mean you don't want love. It usually means you want it, but fear the risk. Past experiences, heartbreak, betrayal, or unstable relationships can teach your nervous system that closeness equals danger. So when things start getting real, you pull away. You hesitate. You avoid vulnerability. Not because you don't care, but because you're scared of being hurt again. If this pattern keeps repeating, it may be time to address it intentionally. Therapy, self-work, and honest conversations can help you learn that vulnerability doesn't always end in loss. Sometimes it leads to safety. Not being ready for a relationship doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're becoming aware. The healthiest relationships are built by people who take responsibility for their inner world, not those who expect love to fix everything. If any of these signs resonated with you, consider it an invitation, not a judgment. An invitation to grow, to heal, to become someone who doesn't just want love, but can sustain it. And when you are ready, love won't feel like work or fear. It'll feel like home.